So what is this BRRRR method all the investors are talking about and it's most widely used? The B. The B stands for buy. You're going to buy a single family, multifamily, or commercial property, it being distressed, most importantly. The first R, it stands for renovate. You're going to take that property you just bought and you're going to renovate the units or unit. The second R stands for rent. After you've fully renovated the property and you've added value through construction, you need to now rent it out and you're going to put in tenants at a market rate. The third R stands for refinance. This is probably the most confusing part, but it's the most important part. You are going to refinance the property. So what you're going to do is you're going to go and call a new bank and you're going to ask them to do a cash out refinance. You're going to tell them that you have a beautifully newly renovated property that is now rented out with tenants. So let's take a 3-family house, for example. You bought it distressed, you fixed it up, you've now rented it out, you put each tenant in at market rate, and it's now cash flowing for you. So you're going to call the bank, tell them you want to do a cash out refinance, and they're going to go and send out an appraiser, and the appraiser is going to tell you the new value of the property. So let's take an example. You buy a $100,000 house that needs a lot of work, it's distressed, and you put $50,000 of rehab funds in it. So now you're all in for $150,000. The bank's going to send out an appraiser, and he's going to say, great, you fixed it up, you rented it out, the new value of your property is worth $200,000, but you're not going to get a loan for $200,000. You're only going to get a loan at 75% of the loan to value. So what does that mean? That means that if the house is worth $200,000 because now you fixed it up, the bank's going to be willing to give you a new loan for $150,000. It's 75% of the appraised value of $200,000. So you take that $150,000 and you pay off the existing note. So a lot of people ask, well, how do you come up with $150,000? I don't have that. Well, neither do I. So what a lot of people do, and what I've done in the past, is you use what's called a hard money loan. If you don't have deep pockets or if you don't have access to private capital, you use a hard money lender. So this is someone who's willing to lend 80 to 90% of the purchase price, and they'll usually fund 100% of the rehab. So let's go back to the $100,000 house example. I bought a $100,000 house and I went to a hard money lender and I was able to get 80% loan to value. So I had to come up with 20% down. They were willing to finance 80% of the $100,000, so I needed to come up with $20,000 down. I've now acquired the property. Great, congratulations. It's still distressed and I still need to renovate it. They're willing to fund 100% of the rehab costs. So I needed $50,000 to make it worth $200,000. So I bought it for $100,000. I've only invested $20,000 in my own capital. And then I put $50,000 in using that hard money lender. So my all in, the purchase was $100,000. I then put $50,000 of rehab in. So I owe him $150,000 minus the $20,000 I already put down. So I owe him $130,000. So now, because I renovated it and I rented it out, it's now worth $200,000. Like I said, I get a 75% loan to value. So now I get a new loan of $150,000, and I take that from the new bank and I pay off the hard money lender of $130,000, and I'm left with $20,000 difference. What did I just say that you put into the deal? $20,000. So you pay yourself back. Now you have closing costs both on the acquisition and on the refinance. However, this is how many investors scale their rental portfolio because they're able to replenish the down payment they originally came out. If you just have to keep 20% down, you will eventually run out of money. So when you do the BRRRR method, you're buying it, you're fixing it up, you're renovating it, the second R, you're renting it out, the third R, and you're refinancing it and then repeating it. And that is the BRRRR model in a nutshell. And just remember, sky's the limit. And if you liked what you heard today and you learned something, be sure to like and subscribe and comment below.